here with Vance, who's the co-buyer at Monsieur Marcel in the original farmers market in LA. There's so many wonderful grain varieties here that I'm absolutely inspired. And what I love about it is that there's always something to explore. That I learned about a new grain from Vance today that I had no idea about. And it's called Job's Tears.
Well, Job's Tears, what is this thing? It actually has a really super long history, like millennia in Asia. And a really simple cooking process. You just boil them in salted water for about 30 to 45 minutes until they're chewy and plump in texture.
Which is, by the way, how you cook pretty much any whole grain.
Pretty much anything.
Right?
Exactly.
So it's not complicated. You boil it.
You boil it. But the cool thing is that keep the boiling water, the cooked water, because in other Asian cultures, that water is drinking as a tea.
So what's interesting about that saving the water is that barley is very rich in water-soluble fiber.
Oh.
And so that's probably what's, besides the water-soluble nutrients that would also be in that cooking liquid, would also probably be some of that beautiful fiber that kind of fills you up. It's that gummy fiber that you get from oats.
Right.
And that's quite filling and so on.
As an ingredient, you're not going to find a lot of recipes out there, but that doesn't matter.
Right.
Just substitute any other grain that you might have, in the recipe. Substitute with the cooked Job's Tears. Bingo, you've got a great delicious.
Absolutely, and I think that there is an interchangeability for a lot of grains, so you can just really play and you can see how the different nuances of the grains will change that recipe in a way.
Totally.
So that's really cool. And so another one that I think is really hot these days is freekeh.
Talk about fiber. This is super high in fiber and high in protein and actually beats quinoa. Freekeh is actually, it's wheat grain, which has been harvested earlier while it's still green. And then that grain is then roasted. It's a grain which has this roasty, toasty flavor, which is beautiful.
And it has a greenness to the flavor too.
So if you're making bowls, like a really nutritional bowl, what a great ingredient for that. Or if you're making a stuffing for a bird, it's a great ingredient for that. The cooked freekeh works great for that.
Right, so just start with it cooked. So you could even do maybe you're doing stuffed cabbage or something like that.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Wouldn't that be good?
That'd be great.
And a lot of times I wind up saying you can use it wherever you would use rice. Has this really caught on in your opinion as as a person who works in this wonderful store?
Yeah, there are some more well-known buzzwords like farro or quinoa. Those are kind of have become the staples. But now, given that's a staple, people are on to discover the next thing, and there's more interest in finding unique grains, grains with flavor, grains with heritage, grains with nutritional properties, and depending upon the customer interest, the interest is really growing.
That just fills me up to know that people are into whole grains as much as I am. That's terrific.
No, it's so much fun.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.